Okay, I'm here at the park. Had my bubble tea. I only had some of it just because it's too sweet. I had a blended passion fruit thing. Meh. At least I ate my chicken, but I'm just here in the car. I might go for a walk because I riled myself up a little bit. I don't know how I'm going to manage it, but in the coming months, in the coming year, as time goes on, I don't want to be resentful towards people. Towards people with regards to all this like COVID stuff. I guess the CDC recently, like within the last, few weeks, changed their recommendation of how long to quarantine from like 10 to 5 days or something like this. I've not been following official news on this on COVID just because it's too stressful. And even if I do, nobody wants to listen to me anyway. So that's fine. But because of that piece of information changing, or that little piece, that guideline changing, I've heard from a few people I've heard the frustrations of a few people over this change in the guidelines, right? Because there's so many people getting COVID to the point where businesses have to shut down, blah, 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 blah. And so these people are frustrated that why did the CDC change the quarantine from 10 to 5 days? And a couple of times I've heard people speculating, oh, it's because they're just doing bowing down to businesses and just so businesses can make money and all these things so they can make their coworkers, their workers work, things like that, which is entirely possible. I don't know. I don't know. I don't work in the CDC. I don't make those decisions. I have no idea, but that's a good hypothesis, I guess. But that was the thing that kind of spurred me on to this, because these same people that are frustrated about what the CDC has said in regards to how many days people should quarantine if they have COVID or whatever, test positive, right, are the same people whom at the beginning of the pandemic, the beginning of lockdown, and as guidelines started rolling out and all these things, all these rules started to come into play, go into play, whatever. The same people who are like, when I would question anything, they would say, well, the CDC says this, or, oh, it makes sense because the CDC guidelines say to do this. I'm like, okay, fine. And let me put it out there that I'm not upset that people are frustrated or questioning or I don't know, frustrated, angry. I'm not really sure, to the point where they don't even want to listen to the CDC anymore, right? I'm not mad about that. It's like, good. If that seems sketch to you, think about that. Why is that? Why? I think people should be able to question those things. So I'm not upset about that. I'm upset that these are the same people whom at the beginning when I was skeptical, and it's not to say that I was even correct at the time, right? But I was just like, because this is a whole novel experience for everybody, and it's my opinion that it's not a good idea for the authorities to say, oh, wear a mask because it works. We know it works. No, you don't. You don't know that it works. You might hypothesize. You might think it works. And okay, you want to do it just in case. But don't be telling people that you know it works. Do you know that? Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But when I was skeptical about this stuff, and I don't want it to be like, oh, me, oh, this is, I told you so, or, oh, well, I was thinking this, and you guys weren't listening to me. It's not about that, okay? Because even if it kind of sounds like it, I don't know, I'm yelling. I need to calm down. Hopefully I'm not yelling. I just hopefully the audio was picking up. But I'm not trying to say like, oh, well, you guys didn't. I don't know. I just don't want to feel resentful towards people for all of this stuff. I know it's a really trying time for pretty much everyone. And hey, depending on where you live, depending on your outlook on life, depending on your walk in your we're all from different walks of life is what I'm trying to say. Very uneloquently. Unsmoothly. I get that we all have different perspectives. So it's not to say that how I think is how everybody thinks and how everybody perceives what's going on. But this is the way I perceive things, and this is how I feel. So I'm just sharing that. But I don't want to feel resentful towards people because they didn't give me the time of day before. And now all of a sudden they're changing their tune. When before, oh, the CDC guidelines were this and this. Okay, fine. At least, but now that they've changed it, you're gonna change your tune, which is fine. I hope people, I hope more and more people kind of wake up to that fact that, okay, they've been kind of doing this the whole time, right? Right. I don't want to get upset. I clearly am upset, right? I just don't want this to carry out months from now, a year from now, years from now, right? I would hope months from now I'm doing what I want to do. Just like on a more personal level of where I'm at in my life. I hope I'm doing the things that I say that I want to do. Think that I want to do. That I'm actually going out and doing those things, right? I hope I am in a few months' time. Excuse me, I'm burping. Ooh. And I hope I'm not letting my anger, my resentment, my sadness over this sort of thing prevent me from enjoying those things or doing those things, right? But there have been already days where I'm just like, damn, y'all. I don't want to be like, well, I said it first. It's not about that. It's just why did y'all not listen to me? Or why did y'all not consider me back then? Why, you know? That's the part that really upsets me. Is that it's not that people had to agree with me. That's okay. They did not have to agree with me at all. But why didn't people listen to me? Why weren't people listening to me? You know, and then it got to the point where it's like, okay, they don't even care what the fuck you're saying. And it's okay, they don't have to. But I'm not just saying like, okay, one or two people, but I'm just saying kind of like a general, and again, maybe I'm painting this picture in my head to be so, and it's not so. It's just the way I'm perceiving reality, right? But freaking hell. When I was saying this stuff, why were people brushing me off? Why were people just kind of like, uh-huh. And it's like, it's not any single person. It's just all these little instances that have gone on that just accumulated together. And I don't know if anybody else feels this way. Or they're like, Babs, I said that before. What the hell? I was saying that before. I don't know if anybody else feels resentful like this. I just don't want to feel this way. I don't want to be upset with people who I know are good people that try to do the best thing for themselves, best thing for others, that are just trying to do their best. I know that's what these people are. I don't want to say it's a me versus them thing, because it's not that. We just so happen to view this particular thing, COVID, whatever, the regulations, whatever, all this stuff around it differently. But it's not a me versus them, and I don't want to think of it like that. But it's when stuff like this happens where it's like, okay, hey man, yeah, you question why they changed it from 10 to 5 days. good question. I don't know why. But is anybody going to acknowledge that that same line of thinking was going on a year ago, 2 years ago? And I'm sure I wasn't the only one, but and again, maybe, people are horrible down in Florida if you happen to be someone that wants to mask up all the time and vaccinate everybody and their mother. Maybe you get, berated in public or something like that. I have no idea. But just the way that it is here in Oregon, again, at least in the metro area, I don't know how small towns are handling it, other areas in the state, but like, I don't remember what the hell I'm saying, sorry. But I don't want to be angry with people because of that. All over all this stuff. And, maybe the solution is that, then don't be. Then don't be upset. Then don't be resentful. But it's not that easy. Hopefully one day I can get to that point where it's like I can, I don't want to say forgive, like, people, oh man, or anything like that. I don't want it to sound like that. It's just like, what the hell? What the hell? It's not even like, it's not like I'm even the complete opposite of, it's not that I don't even think that, like, oh, don't worry about quarantining, or, you don't need to mask up. Well, even though, sometimes I think that, but it's like, if you want to put a freaking mask on your face for the rest of your freaking life, you should do that. You should be able to do that. If you want to get vaccinated, you should do that. If you want to go travel, you should do that. Don't force, don't berate other people or shame other people for making decisions that are different from yours. Like that. My hair is just a freaking mess. That's why I keep playing with it. Sorry. I don't know. I'm gonna go have dinner later. So maybe that'll make me feel better. That's why I should go on a walk, because I'm gonna go out to dinner later on. But does anybody else have that problem? It's just, or finding that they're coming to this problem? Like, I don't want it to be like, I was right this whole time. It's not, I don't even know where things are at. And so far as COVID goes, right? It's just, I don't want to be thinking like, oh, now you're saying that about this. I don't want to be like an asshole like that. But it's like, but where were you when I was questioning the same things? Where were you? Where were you? Instead, you decided to brush me off or just kind of be like, okay. Okay, crazy. Or you would cite, oh, well, the CDC says you should do this. And now all of a sudden people are saying, well, I don't believe what the CDC has to say. And these are the same people. Or like, oh, well, our place of work, we're not following that anyway because we think it's okay, that's fine. That's good. Whatever you think is best, do that. Where were you? I'm laughing because earlier I was quite upset about it. Sometimes I think, Allie, calm down. It is what it is. I don't know. People probably think, like, stop making such a big deal out of this. Like, who cares? Just live your life. Anyway, I'm gonna go walk now, I guess. Maybe I can, I don't know, meditate on that. Figure it out. There's gotta be a better way. I just don't. I realize it's not that I'm upset with people because it's come up in like individual conversations. I'm not upset specifically at people, but like people are involved, just people, like human beings are involved. But it's not even the people, it's just like the idea and the perpetuation. That's not a word, is it? It is a word. I don't know. The perpetuating of this idea. Perpetuation, is that a word? Is what I'm like, you guys. I need to think on it. You know, maybe what the solution is, at least part of the solution, maybe not the whole solution, is just maybe get better mascara, but is to voice my thoughts more in a digestible, appropriate manner. Meaning, I'm not going to randomly whip out this piece of information and just hope everybody accepts it and takes it, considers it, blah, blah, blah. It's not that, but just when those things come up in real life, day-to-day life, that I just stop being so scared or intimidated out of saying anything. Not that there's anybody in my life that's so intimidating. It's just, you know, me being in my head thinking, like, nobody's gonna understand. But that's okay if they don't understand, so long as they listen, you know, I guess. Or, like, truly consider what it is that I have to say. That's really what's important, I guess. Or at least that's one of the important things. Anywho, it's starting to get dark, even though it doesn't look like it. It's starting to get dark. You can see the light hitting the trees. The sunset must be that way. Unless those are just leaves. Am I a ding-dong? Hold on a second. Wait. No, that's the light, right? Sorry. I don't have my glasses on, clearly. No, that's light, y'all. That's the light. That's the light. Are those... Are they? I'm confused. Are they street lamps? Is it the sun? I'm not sure. Do I look like a ding-dong? Yes, a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna go maybe listen to a podcast. Except the one person who I listen to, she hasn't been posting anything, so that's sad. Music, contemplate life, calm myself down, get into a better headspace, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Thanks.